Treating women as second-class citizens is a bad tradition. It holds you back.
Okay, so he makes it very clear, and I'm coming to you, Senator Bill Okero, and says that when we treat women as second-class citizens, it holds us back as a country. We have a deadline of the 27th, I believe, of August to have the one-third gender rule in place. Are we targeted to have this done, given that this is something that even internationally we seem not to be too keen on doing it as we have been, you know, directed?
No, I think he needed to have acknowledged the progress that has been made in the last 3 or 4 years, really, after the new constitution, because the new constitution provided expressly that 1/3 of the public appointments be given to women. That has happened today. 1/3 of the cabinet, 1/3 of the chief officers are women on all public appointments. He needed to also have acknowledged that even in the Senate and in the National Assembly today, there is a significant level of representation of women through the affirmative action. And so I think there has been some progress. I think what Kenyans need to do is to, of course, there is a lot of activity that is going on, I think, in the both in Parliament and in the civil society, to try and get that 1/3 agenda issue legislation in place. So I think it's the Constitution does, in spirit, talk about it progressively, but I think the effort is being made to try and get that thing before the deadline in August. And I think there is a lot of work towards that. And I think also when you look at it also from the point of view of education, I think this country has really gone a long way, even in remote areas like mine and others. I think the boy or the girl child literally have similar opportunities today. They all go to school. There are girls' schools everywhere. There are, so literally, I think in that area, I think he needed to catch up a bit. But in this country, that there's a lot of effort that has been made to try and take girls to schools. But still, there's a lot that needs to be done to try and probably assist them in certain areas. But the political aspect, I think, is being addressed.
All right. So, Ogla, do you feel that there is enough that has been done so far to have the one-third gender rule in place?
I feel Kenya has tried. It has done its best, but there is still more to do. And Obama did not just talk about satisfying the political angle of gender balance. He talked about every other spectrum of educating a girl child. He talked about protecting the rights of women. He talked about those primitive problems that African women or women generally in the world face, including domestic violence and all that. And those are things that we are still grappling with as a nation. And so it was good that he needed to mention it, because we need women in this country and girl child to continue feeling respected, of course, without undermining the boy child. We have to balance. We have to bring up every child in this society. But as for the gender rule, I believe we are doing our best, and I think we are going on the right direction. But about this legitimacy issue that we have continued talking about, I keep wondering, what is this serious crave about legitimacy? It therefore means that Jubilee very clearly know that they have no legitimacy, and they really are desperate to see someone coming to affirm their leadership. Of course, I know they don't have legitimacy in their leadership. That is why it was a big thing to say Obama has come to confirm, Obama has come to confirm. Obama talked about serious issues. Ethnic inequality in this country cannot be sorted out by devolution. As we speak today, in the public service itself, I'm talking about the employees of Kenya government, civil servants, those we call civil servants. Most of them, more than half of them, belong to the president's tribe and the deputy president's tribe. I mean, where are the other about 35 tribes of Kenya? They are not enjoying the national cake. He talked about a girl in Rift Valley who may not be able to go to high school as a girl in Nairobi. And of course, we know very well poverty levels are higher in places that have not produced the president of Kenya. He made a statement that was so awesome. He said, we did not inherit society from our forefathers. We have borrowed from our children.
Right.
The problem that we have in Kenya today is that this government has loaded our future generation on loans and debts. In other words, instead of taking care of society, so to speak, enhancing social capital so that our future generation leaving an inheritance to our children, we are loading our children with burdens of debts, and our children are going to live paying debts which they did not even look for and they did not pay. Those are the things that Obama talked about. We should stop talking about these side shows of legitimacy. Who cares? Jubilee should know that they have no legitimacy. That is why they are craving for legitimacy. But what we need is to fight corruption, is to talk about ethnic inequality. That is a fundamental problem in Kenya. We need to talk about corruption in the high levels. Obama talked about corruption from the higher levels and the lower levels, and he said we need to see prosecution. We are every day talking about senior government officers to the highest level in this country from the days of independence until now.